Okay, so for today we're going to work on percents. I can find the whole given the part of the percent, so we're going to be using a lot of tables. So the first one says the store is having a 20% off sale on merchandise. If my buys one item and saves $13, what was the original price of her purchase? So I'm going to start with a table. I have my percent and my number. I know that 20% is equal to $13. So I have to figure out what 100% is, because that's the original price. So 20 times 5 gives me 100. So 13 times 5 is going to give me 65. So the original price of my item was $65. The original price of a scarf was $16. During a store closing sale, the shopper saved $12 on the scarf. What percentage discount did she receive? Explain or show your reasoning. So I know that I have a percent and I have 100. Oh, I'm not 100. A number. So I know 100% was $16. So I want to figure out what percentage $1 is going to be. So I'm going to divide by 16 on each side. So I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to do 100 divided by 16. And I get 6.25%. So now it says the shopper saved $12, so I'm going to put the 12 here. So that means to get from 1 to 12, I'm multiplying by 12, so I'm going to do 6.25 times 12. And remember, you're not hitting that percent key. So 75%. So what percentage discount did she get? A 75% discount. The next one says the sale price on every item in the store is 85% of its usual price. So I'm going to start with a table. And I know that 100% is going to be $30. I want to figure out what 1% is, so then I can figure out what 85% is. So I'm going to divide by 100. So 30 divided by 100 is going to leave me with 3/10, so 30 cents. So then I figure out what 85% is. So I'm going to multiply by 85. I'll multiply this side by 85. So 3/10 times 85. So $25.50. So it says the sale price of an item is 85% of its usual price. So I'm not subtracting, that's my final answer. So the next one, I'm going to switch colors just to make it. Okay, so for the next one, same concept, percent and 100. I know that 100% of this item is going to be $18. So then I'm going to find 1%. So I'm going to divide by 100. So I'm going to divide this side by 100. So 18 divided by 100 is going to be 18 with a decimal in the front. So 18/100. And then I have to multiply to get to 85%. So I'm going to multiply by 85 on each side. And I end up with $15.30. So then the next one, it says the usual price of a soccer ball is $24.80. I don't know why I keep putting 100 here. It should say number. That's 100%. I want to figure out what 1% would be. So I'm going to divide by 100. So in my calculator, I'm using my phone as my calculator. 2480 divided by 100 is going to get me 248 with the decimal in front of the 2. Then I have to figure out what 85% is going to be. So I'm going to multiply by 85. I get $21.08. The next one says a rocking horse has a weight limit of 60 pounds. What percentage of the weight is 33 pounds? So I know I've got my percent and my numbers. I know that 100% of this thing is 60 pounds. So I want to figure out what 33 pounds would be. So I'm going to figure out what percent 1 would be. So I'm going to divide by 60. So 100 divided by 60. I'm going to do that in my calculator. And I get 1.67 because it's going to be 1.666666 repeating. So 33 pounds, I'm going to go times 33 times 33. And I get 55%. So then for the next one it says, what percentage of the weight limit is 114 pounds? So I've got a percentage, I've got a number, I've got 100% is 60 pounds. So I want to figure out again what one pound is going to be. So I divide by 60. So I end up with 1.67 again. Then I'm going to figure out what 114 pounds is. It's going to be almost 200%. I get 190.38%. Okay. The next one says, what is 95%? So again, I've got my percent and I've got my numbers. So I know 100% is 60 pounds. I want to figure out what 1% is because this time they're asking me for the percent. So I'm going to divide by 100. So I end up with 6/10. Then it says 95%. So I'm going to multiply by 95. So 6/10 times 95 gives me 57 pounds. All right, for the next one, it says Diego has 90 songs on his playlist. How many songs are there for each genre? So I have 100% is going to be 90 songs. So they're saying 40% is rock. So I'm going to find out what 10% is. So I'm going to divide by 10. Divide by 10. So 10% is 9 songs. So that means that 40%, I have to multiply each one by 4. I get 36. So 36 songs. So over here, I already figured out what 10% is. So that's 9 songs. Then I figured out 10% is 9. So 30%. So I'm multiplying by 3. 27 songs. So then it says the rest is electronica. So I know that if I have 90 songs and I subtract 36, 9, and 27, I'll get my final answer. So I'm going to use my calculator on my phone. 90 minus 36 minus 27. And I'm left with 18 songs. So then it says I have a monthly budget of $2,400. How much money is spent in each category? So I'm going to start with the generic one because it looks like I can use it for all of them. So I have percent and I have numbers. I know 100% is going to be $2,400. I want to figure out what 1% is because then I can use that across the board. So I'm going to divide by 100. Divide this side by 100. So I'm left with 24. So 1% equals 24. So if I want to figure out what 44% is, I'm going to multiply by 44. So 24 times 44 gets me to $1,056. So then 1% again is $24. So 23%, I'm going to multiply 24 times 23%, and I get $552. 1% is still $24 because I keep referring back to this budget up here. So that'd be 6%. So 24 times 6 gives me $144. Then I have 1% equals $24 and 17%. So 24 times 17 is going to give me 408. Then they said the rest is put into savings. So I'm going to add up my percentages and see if I can't figure out what percentage is in savings. It's 23, 6, and 17. So that's 10%. So 10 times 24 is going to be $240. Or I could have subtracted all of these from 2,400. There are 80 kids in the gym. 75% of them are wearing socks. How many are not wearing socks? Okay, so I know that 100% is 80 kids. I know that 25%. So that's an easy one to figure out. So I'm going to divide by 4. Divide this side by 4, and I get 20. So 20 kids are not wearing socks. The last one, a school club sold 300 shirts. 31% were sold to 5th graders, 52 were sold to 6th graders, and the rest were sold to teachers. How many shirts were sold to each group, 5th, 6th, and teachers? So I'm going to start with a generic one. I have my percent and my numbers. I know that 300 is 100%. So I want to figure out what 1% is because all of these are percents. So I'm going to divide by 100. Divide this side by 100. So that's 3 shirts. So 1% equals 3 shirts. So I know I can do 31 times 3, and I'll get the 5th graders. I get 93 for the 5th graders. So I'll switch colors. So I'm using that same thing up here. So that says 52 times 3 is going to give me 156. So then if I want to figure out how many were sold to the teachers, I'm going to add these up. And I've got 52 plus 31. And I get 83. So that means 17% were sold to the teachers. Because 100 minus 83 is 17. So 17 times 3 is going to give me 51. So now I need you to go ahead and do your IXL objective, percent of numbers, and your cool down. Have a great rest of your day.